Hola ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 9 of our PWG series on TW 2020. We are here with the 8th installment of Mystery Vortex, which was of course our first show in the series last time out. We had All-Star Weekend 15, Night 1 and Night 2. There are the results if you want to see them. Be sure to go and watch the episode back if you'd like to, get a proper overview of what happened. I would like to quickly take this moment to announce that one of my good friends and long-term viewers of the channel, Oliver, he's opened up his own TW YouTube channel and he's started a Monday PWG save too. So the link to that will be in the description below. It's very good, if I may say so myself, in my very biased opinion. And he even said to me, he said, NLG, this is some of the best TW content that has ever been made. Fallen second to your work, of course. And then he proceeded to go on quite a lengthy tirade about how I am not only the best TW YouTuber that he has ever spoken to, but how I am also his inspiration in life. Not just for TW YouTube, not just for Book and PWG, but on a day-to-day basis. He told me, NLG, I look in the mirror every morning and I wish that I could be as good of a booker as you. So help him achieve that with some great suggestions down in his comments below. Not gonna lie, it's 3:30, I'm exhausted, I'm a little bit drunk, I'm rambling a bit, but can I be bothered to re-record this? No! So we're gonna get right into the show. We kick things off in front of 740 people in the Globe Theatre. I believe we were only 2 people away from a sellout, but we kick things off with a technical masterclass, as in a great bout that gets a 64, Fred Yehai taps out Lee Moriarty in 14:43 with a Koji clutch. Fred Yehai getting a 70 rated in-ring performance, getting the show off to a strong start. Great work from Fred Yehai there. We follow up in the second bout where it's a 4-way, as in a bout that had good wrestling but didn't possess much heat. Brody King picks up another win here. He defeats Ben Carter, Black Taurus and Caveman Ugg in 12:17, pinning Carter with a Gonzo bomb. Brody with the 69, damn son! Best performer of the night, far and away in that match. And I've got to say, Brody King looks like one of the favourites for Bowler this year. We follow this up with a 54 when about that had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat. The Velocities make their way to the Globe Theatre as they defeat former PWG World Tag Team Champions, the Rascals, in 13:25 when Jude London pins Zachary Wentz with his finishing manoeuvre, which is a shooting star DDT. He does a shooting star press into a DDT. If you haven't seen it, it's fucking lethal. The Rascals lose there. The Rascals, who in the time since this series has started, have got signed, fucked off from Impact, and won the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, all while still apparently being PWG World Tag Team Champions. So fair play to them. Will we ever see them show up in California again for PWG? Probably not, but in this save, they're here, even though this is probably the last match they'll have, because what more is there for them to do in this company? They've done everything, They've done everything they can do here. Next up's a 63 where Chris Hero knocks Chris Dickinson out in 12 minutes and 1 second via pinfall with a rolling elbow. He lost to Masato Tanaka at ASW before stopping Lee Moriarty from being able to continue to compete, picking up a stoppage victory over him there. And now he's got 2 wins in a row and he's looking to build up some momentum going into Bowler and looking to outshadow Brody King. We're back with singles action up next as we have a debut as Impact Wrestling superstar Chris Bay makes his arrival in PWG. He's defeated by Flamita in 13:17 with a Fly Flame, and Flamita gets a 75 rated performance. There's sometimes you just play a save like this and you just think, wow. Just wow. What a performance from Flamita. Fair play to him. Round of applause for our Mexican king. Next up, it's a 63 where in a match that I would love to see in real life, Daniel Maccabee pins Tony Deppen in 17:13 with an arm trap German suplex, putting Deppen down for good for the 1-2-3 in 17:13. two evenly rated performances from those two men. McCauley starting to build some momentum up here in the Globe Theatre. Tony Deppin's tag partner of late, Fred Yehi, won tonight. Deppin did not. Next up, we have a 67 where the Motor City Machine Guns retain the tag team gold for the 5th time as they defeat Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler. They defeat FTR. The 5th defense of the World Tag Titles. One of the hottest teams in the American wrestling circuit makes their way to California. And they're defeated by the Motor City Machine Guns in what is a dream match for a lot of people. Both teams performing quite well. For some reason, Chris Sabin underperforming, and I'm not sure why, but he's been doing that quite a bit in this save lately. Chris Sabin not quite getting the respect he deserves here from the PWG faithful, but they hold those titles a little bit longer, retaining them for the 5th time. And next up, your main event, Bandido steps in the ring to defend the World Heavyweight Championship, outwalks Jonathan Gresham, and then the mystery opponent outwalks Jordan Grace. A triple threat match, the biggest night of Jordan's career, a huge night for John Gresham, and Bandido gets the win. It took 20 minutes and 22 seconds before he pinned Jordan Grace with a Revolution Fly. That's defense numero cuatro of the World Heavyweight Championship. Jordan Grace by far and away the weakest performer in the bout. Bandido with the rating of the night for an in-ring standpoint. Great performance from our world's heavyweight champion. And after the match, John Gresham attacks Bandido. He's fuming, he can't stand the fact that he lost a game. He wasn't even pinned. He's angry at his girl, but she helps out. But outruns Flamita, and Flamita comes down to make the save, but Gresham cracks him over the head with the World Heavyweight Championship. And then the lights go out. And when the lights come back on, there is one man standing face to face with John Gresham. He hits a big roundhouse kick to the side of the skull. He chases Jordan Grace out of the ring. And he goes to the top rope as Gresham's getting together. He hits a shooting star. But not just any shooting star. A shooting star knee drop. Because Speedball Mike Bailey has returned to PWG. The travel ban is over for him. We've secured him a work visa, and Speedball has returned to the Globe Theatre. And all of a sudden, John Gresham's career here just got a little bit more difficult. There's one more contender to Bandido's throne. We have one more favourite for the Battle of Los Angeles tournament this fall. Mike Bailey, a man who the PWG faithful took to so quickly. There was such a love and affinity between himself and the fan base a few years ago. He's back in PWG, and he's here for one reason only, and that's to try and do what he couldn't then, and that's become the PWG World Heavyweight Champion. The show gets a 70. Huge performance from Bandido, a huge performance from Flamita, and a huge performance from Brody King. Sees all three men earn some praise, and there you can see arguably two of the most important names in PWG history, at least in the last decade. The Young Bucks certainly helped the company grow a bit more. I think you could argue that they're maybe just cracking into the top 5 acts in PWG history, because while they were important, they were there a long time. I think you look at the likes of Kevin Steen and El Generico and maybe even Roderick Strong as people who are more integral to the company, and then you throw in maybe Chuck Taylor for the top 5 too, with acts such as Candice LeRae just about missing out. But honestly, you think of those names and there's a lot more you think of. You think of your Claudio Castagnolis and your Chris Heroes. You think of even someone like Pac was quite good there, but obviously nowhere near to the same extent of the names just mentioned. But there we have them, the Young Bucks. Who would you say the most important name in PWG history is? I'm quite intrigued, so do let me know down below. As we advance a little bit further, we're looking to get towards the end of the day to see if there's any news stories. We have Mail. The Revival, now known as FTR, have left PWG. Chris Sabin has left Impact, which is a bit interesting. Tomohiro Ishii is your new heavyweight champion in New Japan, which is good to see, because fucking hell, it's about time they took the belt off of Evil. Hiromu Takahashi won Best of the Super Juniors. NXT held TakeOver in New York for 20,000 people. What the fuck was this mod on? Damn. Tommaso Ciampa still in NXT. Makes sense. Quite realistic, because let's be honest, that man's never leaving. And I think that's one of the problems with NXT, you know? I recently saw that they've just turned Adam Cole heel. I'm intrigued to see people's thoughts on that, because it does make for some interesting matches. However, he's been there 4 years now. Just like Johnny Gargano's been there like 5 years. Gargano, Ciampa, Adam Cole, they all feel like people who's going to be there forever in that brand. At what point do they move away? Because any independent promotion, let's be honest, NXT, whilst not being independent in any way, shape or form, they have tried to create an identity of being a super indie. And why is that event called GWF? Anyways, every independent promotion cycles top guys in and out, you know, people move on to different promotions. That's something that NXT are no longer doing unless you're of a certain size. If you're a Keith Lee or a Damian Priest, you know, you're larger than your Adam Coles, your Johnny Garganos, you move up the main roster and you have a chance. Cole, Gargano, Ciampa, none of them want to go up. And so they just stay there. And now Adam Cole's turning into this heel who's not going to get the championship. And he's not going to main event takeovers once this feud with O'Reilly's probably done. So does he enter the Gargano position on the card, where he's an obnoxious heel that's done anything and everything that he can do, and you've got to get him on the cards? You can't have TakeOver without those guys, really. You've got to have them doing something. And does that start to stint the growth of the company a bit, and the growth of the talents that are meant to develop? Because let's look at Tommaso Ciampa. He's just teaming with Timothy Thatcher now. He used to be the most dominant man in the company. So what do you guys think of Adam Cole turning heel and betraying Kyle O'Reilly? I think it will be quite interesting. There could be some good matches from there. Not that I'll probably watch them, but I'm sure everyone will enjoy them a lot, even if they were probably better a decade ago in PWG. But who knows? It's an exciting time to be a fan of those people, but I've got a little bit of scrutiny on that. Is there any other news? Bandito's going to feud with Aerostar in the Crash. And let's look here, and you can see that Mike Bailey, well known, his gimmick is rated as great here in PWG. What's our next event? It's meant to be 18 apparently. So, oh no, it's meant to be 3 Mendes. We might make it be 3 Mendes. We also might have it be a reference to a Kylie Minogue song, knowing me. Who knows? Size-wise, we are up to 39 popularity across California, which is lovely. We've only went up 2 popularity in the last year, which is a little bit weird. But who cares? I was kind of hoping we'd have some popularity somewhere, because I've read a lot about PWG's European tours that they did in the mid to late 2000s lately, and I would quite like to take us on one, but as you can see, that's really not an option. So it'll be a long time before there's a follow-up to European Vacation. But if you have any suggestions for things we could do be sure to let me know down in the comments below. Do be sure to check out Oliver's PWG series over on his channel, which should be linked in the description box down below. I hope you've all enjoyed, and thank you for watching this video.